So it's that time of the year where everybody's gonna give their opinion on what they think is the shoe of the year. But a lot of us don't break down how we make this list in the first place. For the new sneakerheads, I'm pretty sure you guys think is all about hype and resell, and that's why the shoe is the shoe of the year. But there's a lot that go into this, and I'm gonna give you guys my requirements on how a shoe is gonna make it to shoe of the year and why a shoe made it to my top 10. So let's get into this video right now. Welcome on YouTube, welcome back to the page, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of Squin TV. My name is Squin, and talking about sneakers is my thing. Now, if you guys are new here, I don't want you to be new here anymore, so hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the Fambo, and let me educate you guys on how you can make the best or even close to the best sneaker of the year list. Now, when it comes to me, I don't focus on just the hype. I don't focus on just shoes that I like and be very biased. I think that right there, it sucks. You got to be non-biased when it comes to this list, because your favorite pickups and your favorite shoe is two different things, brother, and you have to learn how to separate them. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my requirements, and then I'm going to tell you guys my top 10 shoe of 2024. Now, first up is going to be, you can't lie, you must not deny it, is going to be popularity and hype. When it comes to any shoe that you guys like, it's all about the popularity. If the main masses ain't talking about this shoe, then this shoe is not it. If there's a majority of people that's saying this shoe is ass bananas, then maybe the shoe is not the shoe of the year. Remember though, this whole list is opinionated. If you feel like shoe number A is the shoe of the year, but some people feel like shoe number B is the shoe of the year, you guys are both right and nobody's wrong. But based on my requirements, this is going to determine which shoe goes from number 1 to number 10. And we can't deny the fact that even if we're sneaker collectors, we still have a bit of hype beast inside of us, and that's why we go after the hype stuff. But just because a shoe is hyped up doesn't mean it's the shoe of the year, because a lot of shoes are hyped up and then they become unattainable, and that means you have no way to actually feel that shoe, try it on, and say, you know what, yes, this is my shoe of the year. How? You never tried it on, and that's why my other requirement is going to be accessibility. If the masses cannot feel the shoe, try it on, and see it in person, how can this shoe be the shoe of the year or even be on the top 10? Y'all remember the cactus plant dunks with all the diamonds, shiny stones over them? That shoe is amazing. I like them, but they were a gemstone, a diamond in the haystack, because a lot of people never saw that shoe in person. So how can you really say you love a shoe if you never saw it? Yes, you saw it on the computer, you saw it in pictures, they look nice, but what if you get it in hand and they're actually ass? And even though that shoe is reselling for a lot of money, it doesn't mean it was the best shoe when it came out. Resale definitely play a part, so don't make anybody lie to you when it comes to their list. If a shoe is not reselling, if a shoe is a brick, nobody's gonna have it on their list. However, there's different situation when a shoe is not reselling for a lot, but it still managed to make it to a top 10. So yes, resale do count, but resale don't count at the same time. I know that's confusing, but hear me out. If a shoe is reselling for a lot of money and it is out of your reach, it becomes what? That means it's not accessible. That means you can't get your hands on them, you can't feel them, you can't experience that shoe. So why is it on your list? Now, if a shoe is more accessible and it's more, you know, a GR big shoe, but everybody love it and is reselling for not crazy amount, but everybody has it, that shoe has the potential to be a top ranked shoe of the year, despite the resale not being as high as this other shoe right here. And with that being said, we're going to talk about my last requirement when it comes to shoe of the year, or just the sneaker list in general, and it's going to be a culture shift or a culture changer. If this shoe drop and everybody forget about the shoe the very next day, a few hours after it dropped, there's no way that shoe could be on the list. I'm talking about, there's a few hype shoes that drop, a few dunks that drop, that as soon as they drop, it's over. Nobody care. Everybody's moving on to the next shoe. There's a few hype shoes that people like, and as soon as it restocks, the resale value drop, and now nobody's talking about it, because guess what? It's a brick and we don't care. Everybody has it. We want to be different. Boo boo ha ha. That's a topic for another day, but for right now, we're gonna focus on the shift. There's a shoe that's on this list that I feel like you guys are gonna be like, what? Squin, take that off. No, but I'm gonna explain why. So keep my requirements in mind when I'm talking about my top 10 list. So let's get into it. So at number 10, we're gonna have the KD Galaxies. Yes, nobody had these on their list and I was shocked. This is a shoe that back in the day had a big culture change. We're talking about this shoe dropped and people was going crazy. The Galaxy pack, Nike was in their bag. The all-star theme, they were eating. Everybody loved their shoes. So when we heard that these were restocking, the value of the older pair went from 600 to 400 to 300, which is beautiful to me. But remember what I said, even though a shoe is losing its value, it doesn't mean it's a bad shoe. Now, a lot of KD 4s dropped. Yes, I know. A lot of people didn't pick up any of them. I think that the Nerfs are still available in certain stores, but the Galaxies just hold a nostalgic feeling to a lot of people, and that's why it's on my list. I feel like, yes, a lot of the younger generation, they don't care about this shoe right here, but the older generation and my age, they're definitely gonna pick these up because back in the day, they either never got it or they did buy it, but they beat that shoe to the ground and they need a brand new one. And that's why this shoe is on my list at number 10. Now for number 9 is a shoe that you could probably switch out with something else, and it's going to be the Action Branson New Balance, the Rose Water. These are fire. People were talking about these shoes months before they dropped, and when they dropped, people were excited and they was ready to buy that shoe. And then after the release, people were still talking about it. We are in December and there's people still talking about how they want to add the Rose Water to their collection. Now, like I said, accessibility. These shoes were not super limited, and that's why the resale is not crazy. But because a lot of people are still talking about it, there is no way you couldn't add this on the list. Yes, I know a lot of people adding the J-tips instead. The J-tips are nice, they're cool. I have a pair, I love them, they're nice. But I feel like they're not better than the Rose Water. To me, the Rose Water is a lot more wearable, and I feel like even if you're not a sneakerhead, you're gonna appreciate that shoe over the J-tips just because the color is kind of funky, it's kind of crazy. At the number 8 spot is gonna be 2 different colorways that you could switch back and forth on, and this is a shoe that brought back hype and brought back a little bit of nostalgia feeling when it comes to the foam posits, and it's going to be either these 2 colorways, the foam posit DMVs, or we're going to talk about the Tekken. Now, when the Tekken dropped, we're talking a beautiful rollout. Everybody's talking about that shoe before it dropped, during the drop, and after the drop. To this day, they're still dropping colorways, and people are still talking about, oh, I need one of these colorways. They got to get them. They are nice. They're hot. Fire. On the flip side, though, you have the DMV foams that dropped only in the DMV, and then I feel like it was crickets after until you check the resale market, and they're going for a crazy amount of money. If your city's big on foams, then you guys are still talking about this beautiful foam right here because the colorway that they picked, delicioso, it is fire. And like I said, the resale value is there, the hype is definitely still there. Definitely top foam of 2024. I might make that list. Comment down below and let me know about that shoe. Let's talk about number 7. Now, the reason why this shoe's on the list is because I feel like all you guys were capping when y'all said, oh, I don't like any Jordan past the 14s, but yet the 17 low drop and they were hard to get, hard to buy. There was chaos. The culture felt like it was going back into the, oh, I need these shoes, I gotta line up, I gotta beat you up. And then you look at what shoe it is not a Jordan 1, is not a Jordan 4, is a shoe that nobody cared about. I'm not saying that I don't care about this shoe because obviously I have it. I have the Lightning lows and I have the UNC lows because I had to get them. I love not every single Jordan model, but I do have a taste for other Jordan models besides 1 through 14. And when I heard that these were dropping, I was hyped. The hype for this shoe is still going. A lot of people still want that silver briefcase. I know they don't want to pay that money, but they're hoping that the price fall somehow, some way so they could pick it up, which means the shoe is hyped up. The only thing is not accessible because it only dropped in neighborhood stores. That's the only downfall, but the resale is not crazy. The shoe retail for $300 and is reselling for about $400 or $500. Technically, that's good because if a Jordan 1 was retail for $190, but you guys were buying it back in the day for $300, you think that was a good deal. So honestly, this right here for the price it's at right now is a good deal. Now, rolling in at number 6 is a shoe that just came out, but is taking the streets by storm. And I'm talking about the Sunder Kids of Immigrants. Bro, God, the rollout for this, wicked. Everybody who's a child of an immigrant wanted this shoe because the story and the message that went into this whole collab, and you still have the nostalgic feeling. If you guys weren't born in America, then you know when you had to call people back home, your parents sent you to the deli to get a phone card so you could call back home. They put that in the box of this shoe. You don't understand how that touch home for a lot of people. Yes, we have WhatsApp, no, we have Instagram, all these other technologies that we could reach our family in the blink of an eye, and it's all good. But back in the day, we couldn't. The story that they push with this shoe definitely touched a lot of people's heart. Touch a lot of people's heart so much that they are now going for $500. Am I going to spend that? Me not think so. But I really like these shoes, and I do want to get them in the collection. So if somebody has them for a better price than that, please let me know. I do want to talk about how this release was, because it dropped more than once. It dropped at Complex Con, and it dropped on their website, and the resale price is holding steady. Yes, we mentioned that the resale doesn't determine a shoe being on the list, but we cannot deny that when a new shoe... We cannot deny when a collab on a shoe that nobody likes, the Sunders, is going for a lot. And that's something to take into consideration when it comes to making a list. Now, I feel like a lot of people, especially Complex, already made their list before this shoe dropped. And I feel like if they knew this shoe was coming out, they would have definitely had this on their top 10. At the number 5 spot is a shoe that I am shocked that nobody mentioned at all. And it's going to be the Cactus Plant Air Force 1. The reason why I'm shocked is because this shoe was hyped up for months. We're talking after the release. It was hyped up for months. You couldn't go on IG and not see this shoe on your For You page. Everybody wanted the green and the purple pair, and you're telling me that this didn't make a list? Not one person mentioned this shoe, a shoe that was hyped up for months after, a shoe that was so popular that the resale price went from a measly $50, $100 over to $300, $500, $600 over. The purple pair I tracked. If you guys watch my video, I mentioned it. The shoe dropped on a Tuesday and was reselling for $800 by Thursday. That is unheard of, especially in this climate of sneakers. A lot of people's not paying resale. Reselling was kind of dying out before these shoes dropped. So how in the world did these shoes just popped up in popularity? I don't know, but that is why I had to have this on this list. Now, I know I said I didn't want to be biased. I love these shoes. If I was really being biased, this would be number 1. Talking about run, you cannot go on IG or on any sneaker blog and not see this shoe right here. And that is why a lot of people have it as their number 1 shoe of the year, and is the AE1s. Yes, bad boy, these are cool for a lot of people except for me. And I know you guys are thinking, Squin, you're a hater, cut it out, those are the number 1 shoe of the year. No, they're not, and I'm not the only one that think that. I made a poll on my IG, and look what people said. They are a top 10, they could be a top 5, but they're not the shoe of the year. A lot of people love to say, oh, but the shoes sell out all the time, every colorway is a banger. No, it's not, and it doesn't sell out all the time. You guys were all capping. If you guys left your house and put down your phone and don't only think that the whole community is focused on the internet, go to your Foot Locker, go to a Adidas store. They are there, sitting in full size runs. Get out of here. I do understand the impact that this shoe had on the culture, because we're talking wearing basketball shoes on the court and off the court hasn't been a popular thing in years. It used to be popular with the KDs, the Kobes, and the LeBrons, but that died out, and a lot of people were not wearing any basketball shoe off the court. You were clowned upon until this man right here dropped the AE1s. And honestly, I have to give him his props. Adidas did their thing. Now, the top 3 spot is going to get you guys angry, but honestly, if you guys heard my recommendations and you heard my requirements, then you know why. And it is going to be in the number 3 spot, the Futura SB Dunk Low. This is the best SB of the year, so there was no way they're not making it on the list. A lot of people have the Visties, I think they're called, on their top 10, and a lot of them have them on the top 5. I honestly think that shoe lost the hype as soon as it dropped. Nobody cared. Only a selected few. These bad boys right here, people are still talking about to this day. People still want them to this day, and people are buying them to this day, and that's why I think these are nice. I know you guys are probably wondering where was I gonna put this shoe, and we're talking about the Jordan 4 Reimagined, the Bread Reimagined. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I had these at number 6. Don't be mad at me. I just believe that this shoe I feel like this is the actual way it should have dropped. Yes, the nubuck is perfect. We're used to the nubuck, so we're so used to the nubuck that a lot of people were fighting the leather. But if this was how they dropped, if this was how it's supposed to drop with the nice supple leather like every other Jordan 4, you guys would have ate this up from the jump, because this would have been the OG and the nubuck, the suede, would have been the reimagined. This right here, you could wear it all year round, summer, winter, spring, fall. It doesn't matter because the colorway is great and then the material is actually durable and is going to last. I feel like the resale is not there, but the popularity, these were accessible. If you wanted them, you could have got them. You could have got multiple pairs if you really wanted to. I know a lot of people that did. These are definitely good. You got your Nike Air in the back, like everybody ball and cry for anytime Jordan and Nike drop a shoe. So you got everything you want. So how is this not on your top 5, your number 1 or your number 2? Y'all let me know. At the number 1 spot, I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna be pissed, but you're gonna understand after I break it down to you guys, and it's gonna be a Travis shoe. The only thing is, it's not gonna be the Travis that you think. And that's right, it's not gonna be these bad boys right here. These are the Travis Scott lows. These are nice. I love them. They are a great pickup, but they are not the shoe of the year. There's no way a shoe like this could be the shoe of the year when it's just a rinse and repeat. We had the olive, we had the medium olive right there, we had the the Ekins, we had the Phantoms. How many lows are you gonna give us? Yes, they're cool, I like them, they're definitely on my top 10 pickup, but shoe of the year, one of the best shoes to drop? Nah. Honestly, I'm not gonna say that these are a whack shoe, but they're definitely not the shoe. Now, the shoe is going to be the Jumpman Jack, and I know you guys are typing away. You're screaming at your screen, Squin, why ya top boy dog? Stop it. But hear me out. Who else have their own model with Jordan? Exactly, nobody. Kanye had it with Nike. This man, Travis Scott, has it with Jordan Brand and Nike. He has 2 different signature shoes. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie. I think these are the best shoe of the year. And they're also one of the best newer designs of the year. Travis Scott gave us his own shoe, a signature shoe. Nobody seen that coming. Everybody thought all he was going to do was give us Jordan 1 lows, switch up the colorways. We're begging for a 4. But instead, he's giving us a shoe he designed. And I know a lot of people don't like this shoe. A lot of people saying it's trash, it's whack, it's uncomfortable. But every time the shoe drop, you try to get it. Why? Because they're trying to resell it, or you actually like the shoe and you want it. The Travis Scott Jumpman Jack is the number 1 shoe of the year. Fight me in the comments below. If it's not the number 1 shoe for you guys, let me know where you have it on your list, if you even have it on your list. So there you have it, guys. That's how I decide my shoe of the year list. I actually have a nice checklist to make sure that I'm not just being biased. I'm not going off the hype. I'm not going just off the resale, but I'm mixing everything together to give you guys the best list. Now, I don't know if it's better than Complex. Yes, they added Asics, the Kith collection and all that stuff. A lot of people weren't talking about that collection. As soon as that collection dropped, nobody gave a hell. Maybe they cared, 2-3 days after, damn, I took an L, I still want it. Who's talking about that? I definitely don't talk about it anymore, and I want the shoe. I still want the Green Goblin, but guess what? I could get that later on in the future. I don't care right now. And once you have that mindset, that means that shoe cannot be the shoe of the year. If you're not fiending to buy that shoe right now before the year is over, then it should not be on your list. And that's how I see it. But that's just me. That was my opinion. Y'all let me know, what is your top 5, top 10, top 20? I want to hear it in the comment section below. And I also want to hear your mindsets and how do you decide a shoe of the year. But yo guys, that's it. Love, manners, and always respect. See you on the next video.